Breloom occupies a weird position in the NU tier because as a fighting type, it has to compete with the likes of Mienshao, Lucario, and Gallade for being a fighting type on your team, and fighting types aren't necessarily the strongest to spam, with psychics and ghosts and flying types being quite prevalent. And you don't really get a lot from fighting spam per se. Go for a sticky web turn 1, we'll just exchange webs, and that'll be the cost of doing business, I suppose. So, oh nice, they just volt switched up. I'll take that. They'll come back in at their life orb. Okay, so they'll come back in a -1, and we can deal with them in that way. And thorns. I'm gonna energy ball you because they don't threaten me, and now I'm gonna bug buzz just in case they decide to tear grass or something cheeky. Alright, that was a pretty easy game 1. Yeah, so you have to decide between Breloom against a bunch of other fighting types, like this one right here, who has a higher priority extreme speed that can be boosted to higher limits than a technician boosted Mach Punch can. So, because of Terra, right? Because now you have stab on it too. Hitmonlee is a more niche option, so we don't have to consider him in the conversation. But on this team, that's probably going to be annoying. I'm going to lead off with the, I feel like I want to lead off with the... Do they have defog? They have rapid spin, potentially. Yeah, I'll just lead off with that Angela to get up the webs. If they had a rapid spinner, I might not have. I don't think Hitmonlee is a rapid spinner, so it should be okay. Now, the question is, do I want to keep this around for DOD? I feel like it might be useful still, but do I want to risk my Talonflame when I sort of need it for these guys? I don't think I do, so I'm just going to go for Bug Buzz here. I get a Spit F drop, which is cute. I don't really think that matters, necessarily. Now I am Choice Scar Flygon, so I could go for Outrage. But I don't think that's the best play. I want to keep Puffkey around and healthy. I don't know what I should go to here. I'm gonna go Breloom here just because I want to see if they're choiced in some fashion. And I thought maybe I could bait out the Chandelure like that, as we end up doing that. So whatever they go into is going to have to at least get slowed by 1 stage. So we get rid of the Chandelure by baiting that. I think they might be choice banded Earthquake. So I could have gone into Talonflame or something like that, maybe Flygon, but that wouldn't have baited out the Chandelure. So I'll stand by that play. Here I'm going to Mach Punch, just to see what's up. And then we have to go Talonflame and sack it, unfortunately. I knew that... Here we can just go for Brave Bird. I knew that Terra Ghost was always an option, but I think that this was the safest route to winning. Now at this point, I don't really know who does the best. For Alligator with Terra Dark is quite useful still, in case DOD decides to get cheeky. I'm just gonna go into Klefki and foul play. They do outspeed me, unfortunately, but I think this is okay position-wise. If they do go Flygon, I can just get up a Spike. I feel like I'm putting myself potentially in a position to lose to upper hand Hitmonlee, so I'll have to watch out for that. Do I need my own Flygon at this point? Might be nice. I'll go into it though, because they might U-turn, and if they do, I would rather have that. I want to save my Klefki. Now that they can't Terra Dark Hitmonlee, then I can go for Thunder Wave on a potential Endure or something like that. And here we'll just U-turn out into Feraligatr, the Rocky Helmet. And I'm going to Dragon Dance up. I'm going to Terra Dark Crunch and see how much damage we can do to this. Guys, that does way too much. That's what I was hoping for. We'll just continue to crunch. So we take some Rocky Helmet chip, but we saved the Terra Dark Feraligatr, which was important. Now I'm going to Dragon Dance up on the very obvious Endure. We've been here before. We can't Endure twice in a row. We kill the Feraligatr. We should kill the Flygon now too. Our Fimp, okay. That's fine by me, because I know they're banded. Unless that was the best bluff ever. And so we'll just go like Earthquake there. And we'll sack Klefki. And if they lock into a Dragon move, then we can just click Foul Play and that'll be the game. So yeah, Breloom in this game didn't get to do too much, but it did take out the Chandelure. It was a decent lure for that. I don't know, my opponent does have a decently scary team, but a lot of potentially threatening Pokemon on their own, but I feel like all of those things that those Pokemon do are known. Right? Everybody knows about Hitmonlee at this point. Lucario can be either physical or special, but you can play around it effectively either way. Chandelure is an okay Pokemon in certain matchups, but it's stuffed out in a lot of other ones, and it got baited out in this game either way, so it doesn't really matter. And DOD is annoying, but I was mindful of it specifically and was able to keep my Terra Dark Feraligatr, and unfortunately their Flygon is banded. I like banded Flygon a lot, I think it's pretty fun, but I also, I don't know. I feel like in a lot of situations you get put into awkward positions. So, yeah, we'll get another game. Alright, we're fighting another Deoxys, defense, another Chandelure, another Flygon. I think in this game, getting up hazards is pretty useful. They do have a Chinchino though, so we do have to watch out for that. I think they might even just lead their guy right here, because it would get up Spike, Stealth Rock. I'm guessing that's the game plan is on that front. Kinda just want to lead off with my Flygon. I'll be Choice Scarfed. I can make plays accordingly. And here we'll just U-turn out, as they are red card, which is very good to burn that right away. I actually go into a Pokemon I'm okay with going into. I'm gonna throw off Thunder Wave here. Be a bit annoying. And I'll throw up one Spike. One Spike is going to entice the Chinchino to go for the Tidy Up, because otherwise their Sash Cloyster is going to have a bad time. And now we are going to switch, because I don't want to have to deal with these things. They get up a Spike of their own, actually. There's an interesting play, because if they're going to Tidy Up with their Chinchino, then having Spikes plus Chinchino seems to me to just really be contrary to the point. I mean, if this were a more offensive, the pseudo-offensive Deoxys with the Cosmic Power, Stored Power thing, then I could understand that being there. But this is not that. Okay, now, just to double check. I have Mach Punch. We should be okay. And they didn't freeze me there, so that's good. And here, if they want to Tidy Up, that's okay. Technically, I could Terra Ghost, so it's probably a good thing they went for knockoff there. Interestingly, at this point, I could go Klefki, go for Iron Defense, and then Terra Fire on their Chandelure and sort of sweep their team. But I feel like that's putting myself in a bad position unnecessarily. I'd rather go into my Breloom and click the Rock Tomb again. Try to bait out the Chandelure because the Cinccino does not want to take a Mach Punch. They actually go for Terra Ghost there, which means that we technically effectively baited them. And they miss a Tail Slap. And this is the reason why I think Cinccino is a bad Pokemon. Because even though on paper Cinccino can do a lot of damage, it does not ever do that. It's ineffective at anything it's trying to do. Because it misses, right? You say, oh, I can go for a Tail Slap. Well, a Tail Slap misses. I can go for Triple Axle. Well, Triple Axle misses. Even if you hit the first one, maybe you just hit the one, pop the weakness policy and miss the other two. Oh, I can go for Rock Blast. Rock Blast misses. I can go for Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed is okay, but not in this tier, where I got Vileplume and a bunch of other Pokemon like Tsareena and whatever that don't care at all about Bullet Seed. Is not the tier for Bullet Seed Cinccino, in my opinion. No, look, I didn't even notice this person's username, but yeah, I agree with that opinion. My opponent here has a team with Grimmsnarl Screens plus Umbreon for some reason, and then PZ that'll punch through bulky stuff, and then a couple of setup fighting types. Not sure how that's gonna fare against my team. I do have Galvantula, which can go for Sticky Web. I sort of wish I had Encore, but I do not. At this point, what don't I need is the question that must be asked. I go Talonflame here. And we're just gonna Brave Bird. And then here we'll go for the Choice Scarf Outrage, which will pick up a KO. So we lost our Talonflame, which I don't know if that was the correct Pokemon to lose, especially when they have two fighting types in the back. But I think we should be okay. I had to go Grimmsnarl, which I don't really know if that gets them anything. It's not like I didn't do tons of damage to them. And here we can just go for the spikes. They go for Taunt, which is okay. And now I'm gonna go into Breloom. I figured that they would just parting shot out. I don't want Scrafty to come in. I'm okay with Glade coming in though. We'll get -1 speed. Then go back into Klefki here. Scrafty is a problem for Klefki because it can't be Thunder Waved, and Foul Play isn't going to do any damage. But Glade getting Thunder Waved is great. So we'll take that. And now, I think we go into Antula maybe? Because I want to keep Alligator healthy for the end. I'm just going to throw off a Bug Buzz because you don't want to miss. It hits Umbreon. And a little Frostmoth. Although that didn't really matter because it was just a sack. Anyway. The Umbreon comes out. It's interesting because I'm just going to go into Breloom here. And going to throw off a Sword Stance. This Glade is paralyzed and it's under Sticky Web, so it didn't really get anything from that. Now I can just Facade again. And I'll SD up again, just to waste a turn of screens. Not like they get much out of that. Now they go Umbreon again. I'm gonna Facade in case they Terra Poison. Foul Play does a good chunk of health. But I think we're still okay. I think we forced them to Wish here, as they are forced to Wish. And because I am Poison Heal, they're not in a comfortable position here. Now I will say I do want to keep this around if at all possible, so I will go Galvantula here. We'll just throw off a Bug Buzz. They go for Wish. They go Breloom again. And then, I'm gonna Mach Punch now. See what's up. We'll go back to Galvantula. I need it less. It's less important. And we'll just spam Bug Buzz until I go down. Just wanted a bit more recovery. I think that's okay. And now I'm gonna go into Gator. I'm gonna throw off a Liquidation first, in case they want to go for Foul Play. Now we'll actually throw off a Dragon Dance, because I figured that would happen. They actually sacked their Grimmsnarl, so that might be the beginning of the end for the opponent. Because I'm not gonna click anything else besides Liquidation. And every time this Umbreon comes in, it has to take a spike, so it can't continuously cycle this. Okay, so that's gone. That's fine. I'm gonna go Breloom. The reason is I want to be able to force a Terra. And I'm assuming that they're Terra Ghost on their Porygon Z. But I guess they're not Terra Ghost on the Porygon Z. So maybe I should have just gone for Mach Punch there. I actually sort of figured that they would go into their Scrafty first. But that's okay. I think we did okay in that game. Alright. One thing I would like to see happening better in these games, I'd like to see the Iron Defense on Klefki putting a little more work. Otherwise it's not really there being useful. So we'll see if I can make that happen. But in this game, they have a Deoxys defense, so I think the Terra's once again got to go for Alligator. And they have a Rapid Spinner this time, so I don't think I necessarily want to lead with Galvantula. Leading off with Klefki actually seems like an okay play. Just because they may predict me to go into my Talonflame or something like that. But if they don't, that's alright, because, I don't know, they have Incineroar, they have Tsareena, both Pokemon that traditionally will shut down a, Okay, so they go Toxicroak there. Is it worth to Terra Steel? Only if they don't close combat. I don't think they would. Yes, they just Gunk Shot. I figured they wouldn't close combat in case I go Talonflame. That wouldn't make any sense to me. I'd like to get rid of that if at all possible. Now here, what are they going to do with Incineroar? I don't know. I'm just going to Facade again. I'm not going to get rid of most of the Incineroar's health, which is cool by me. Because now, I can just go into my Flygon and U-turn out. And get position on whatever they want to bring in. We'll go to the Talonflame, so that if they want to spin with Tsareena, they risk the burn. I don't think that that's what they'll go into as a result. I think they'll go into Basculegion, which is a bit annoying. Here we can always taunt the Deoxys. And they predict that, but that's okay. Oh, it's not really okay. They continue to spam Psychic Noise, which I'm a little bit surprised at, just because I could have gone for the Roost and the Psychic Noise wouldn't have gotten them anything, right? But that's okay. We'll go Bug Buzz now. They don't have any switch-ins to Basculegion. And in this way, they are Choice Scarf. But that's gone now. And I'm gonna go Flygon. I figured they would Jet there. So actually, their Aqua Jet Banded fails to pick up a KO. Now I can Dragon Dance up in this thing's face, I think. So, apparently I cannot Dragon Dance up. I thought that was banded, but I guess that makes a little more sense as to why it wasn't doing that much damage. And Crunch now won't pick up a KO, I don't think, on this. Oh, it does. Good. Okay, so we were able to sweep in the end with Feraligatr. Close game though. Now this looks like a pretty good team that I might use in this metagame. Except for, I will say I would not use Kilowattrel. I like it when it hits, but I don't really like it all the time. They have another Tsareena here, so we're gonna have a hard time keeping up our webs. And I don't know how useful the webs will be, but that remains to be seen. In any case, I think Kilowattrel is actually really annoying for me, for this team, rather. I'm gonna stay in, just to scout intentions. They do have a Kilowattrel, as aforementioned, which is really annoying into my team, like I said. But if they decide to leave in the muck on the expected U-turn, just so they can knock off, I'd like to just, get rid of the muck, if at all possible. And if they decide to switch, then, that's okay. But I figured that they would, because it feels like a lot of people do leave in the Pokemon. I literally did that in the previous game with my Flygon. But this does free up the Breloom a bit, so I'm happy about that. As well as the Galvantula, although I do still have to worry about the Kilowattrel. So there's that. I'm gonna go Klefki. The reason I'm going Klefki is because I want to Thunder Wave the Gallade. I'd like to Thunder Wave the Basculegion. I wouldn't mind Thunder Waving the Deoxys either. And I will spike up here. We go for Nightshade. That's okay. Now I'm gonna go Flygon, just sack that. And I'm going to Dragon Dance up to my Feraligatr. I think that's okay. They actually get fully paralyzed, which sucks for them. What can they do to me? Can they Thunder Wave me? It would be annoying if I got Thunder Waved. So I'll just try to kill them this turn. Because if they had Thunder Wave or something... I don't actually remember if it even gets Thunder Wave, but if they did, then that would be annoying. I was thinking about it getting +2, because if I did that, then they wouldn't have to Terra. And if this is Choice Scarf, then that risks the Speed Tie, which is annoying. But either they weren't Choice Scarfed, or they didn't get the Speed Tie. So we'll take that. And look at all those points I just got from that guy. I will acknowledge that I may have gotten a Speed Tie there, but I do think that potentially, given that they were Stealth Rock Nightshade, I think that they possibly had something annoying that would have potentially crippled me. But I do believe that going for Alligator at that point was the strongest play, because Deoxys is more passive, and Kilowattrel not going to be able to set up on that. Blade not going to be able to set up on that. Tsareena not going to be able to set up on that. And depending on the Basculegion set, probably a bad idea there too. So that was the only opportunity my Gator was going to get to be able to sweep, and because the Kilowattrel had such a good matchup into me, I think my opponent should have maybe prioritized using that Pokemon over Deoxys to threaten my entire team, especially once they got rid of my ground type. But yeah, I think that shows this team is okay. I don't know if it shows the Breloom is okay. That would be my one concern. But I still stand by what I was saying at the beginning of the battle, or the video. Hopefully I said it properly. If we look at this set here, Facade is, of course, really good on Breloom with the Toxic Orb, so that needs no justification. Mach Punch, of course, is why Breloom is actually a decent Pokemon. Of course, other fighting types get Mach Punch. It's not unique to just Breloom, but you sort of need it if you want to make it viable. Terra Steel is here for Pokemon like Vileplume. You can just SD up on Vileplume all day. We didn't get to fight any Vileplume in today's video, and it might not even be meta at the moment. But if Vileplume ever did come back, I think this set in particular is actually really strong for it. Yes, you don't get the Technician, but once I've Terra Steeled, I can be FX board, and that's really annoying. I can also get burned by Flame Body, but I can't if I have Toxic Orb. And then Rock Tomb, of course, is here for the Shandies, with the Talonflames, things like that. Klefki, not entirely sold on this Iron Defense. You can put whatever you want on there, Dazzling Gleam or whatnot, but I do think that makes Klefki more passive, and I think in certain endgames you want to be able to Iron Defense up, and then Foul Play. a physical Pokemon, like maybe a Lycanroc Dusk or something. And then the rest of the team is pretty dang standard, so we don't need to get into that. But that'll be it for today's video, and I'll catch you guys next time.